So I'd like to just take a minute to explain. Since I've
Please
been
do.
waiting for No Man's Sky to come out, I have graduated college. I have entered and completed a master's program. I have
Yep.
published my own video game. I have had a
You've had a
child,
baby.
and I've moved twice.
You are
All
correct.
of this and more has happened to me while I've been anticipating this single game more than any other.
Hence why, Paul, I think the only thing we need to talk about is No Man's Sky. You need to tell me what is up with that game. I haven't played it. I've talked to one person at work who's played it. I haven't watched any reviews because most of them are like reviews in progress or not up yet
Right.
or whatever. So
So here's
I turn the time over to Paul.
I I've played this game for
40
probably
hours? What?
no, probably only I don't, like at maximum 7 or 8 hours is
Okay,
what I
well, it's only
played
been
so
like three
far.
days. So that's pretty good. It's pretty
Yeah.
good.
So the day it came out, I played until from 10 p.m. to 2:30 a.m., which I have not done for any game in a long time.
Okay.
When
Did you get
Uncharted
your
came out,
hyperdrive?
yeah, I did get a hyperdrive. I built it. Yeah. When Uncharted 4 came out earlier this year, it was in between school and work, so I had nothing to do and I played all day and I finished at about 1:30 a.m. But No Man's Sky, I had work. I came home. I got the limited edition box, which is probably the
Oh,
best
you did.
physical. Yeah, it's the best physical limited edition of any game I've ever bought. It's a really cool little box.
Okay.
It makes it look like a classic sci-fi novel. The box itself, like it looks like a book. And then you
Oh,
open it, and there's this really cool steelbook case. There's a hardcover art book, and there's a combo comic with a short story, both set in the universe of No Man's Sky. And
sure. Why not?
so notice, the box makes it look like a book. There's literally a short story set in the universe of No Man's Sky. And I will say this game is being, I think, still majorly misinterpreted by most of the internet of what it's supposed to be.
What do you mean by that? Because I don't know what it's
I
supposed to be.
mean, this game has more to share with Zork than it does Mass Effect.
Um,
This is a
what's
game.
Zork?
What's Zork, Ben? Cultural capital.
I feel pretty bad about that now.
Zork is uh, one of the great classics in text adventures. Um, really old
Yeah, that
game.
sounds great. Wait a minute. You're the one that don't play old games. What are you talking about?
I haven't. I have to admit, I haven't played through all of Zork, but I know its importance in video game history. Um,
Cultural capital, Paul.
okay, at least I know what it is. But No Man's Sky is an adventure game, and it's a game out of its time. It's a game that if it had come out in the like mid '90s, would be one of the great classics of games in all history. But because it came out in 2016 and they charged $60 for it and they hyped it as much as a AAA title, it's being eviscerated by the media, and it will continue to be. And the review scores will settle at about a 65, 70
Oof.
range.
Okay.
And the thing is, I understand all of the complaints that are coming out of the community and the critics. And I will say, No Man's Sky is exactly what I thought was advertised, but I think there was a lot of extra expectations of what was implied by what was advertised, because
I mean,
it's
this was
sold as a
overhyped like
$60
crazy.
game. Yeah. So like people are saying like the graphics suck. It's nothing compared to The Witcher or Uncharted 4, which like of course it's not. Why would anyone expect the graphics of a procedurally
Wasn't it like
generated
a
indie
15
game?
man? Wasn't like a 15-man team?
Yeah, it started as 11 people and I think it's up to 20 now, but like why would the
Oh,
graphics of a procedurally generated universe be anywhere near The Witcher
be
3?
compared. Yeah,
Yeah.
admit that.
Um so far my feeling with No Man's Sky is it's really not a great game, but it's great that it is a game. Like it's amazing that this thing
Okay.
exists,
Okay.
and it's important that it exists, and it's exactly what I wanted it to be. But this
That's
game,
great.
yeah, it fell into a classic trap, which was it cares more about its fantasy than its gameplay. And that's really its downfall. And the most legitimate criticism of it is that it cares way more about walking slowly on an alien planet than doing anything while you're on that planet.
Okay.
So this is a game built for a very specific kind of player for a very specific use case. Like most indie games, I feel it's a one-trick pony, and that trick is it generates planets that you can look at. And like most indie games, it's like, wait, that's really all it is? That's kind of disappointing. But for me, I've been saying all along, if I
That's all
can
you
just
wanted.
walk around on cool, weird planets and see cool stuff, I'll be happy. And that's all it really is. It has a bit more survival elements than I thought it would.
Okay.
I find I have to recharge my what's it called? My life support like all the time. Like I think it depletes super fast. Maybe I'm just early on and need to upgrade it or something. But it's a little annoying how often I have to recharge it. And most planets I've been on so far have some sort of hazard that my suit has to deal with. So it can be radiation, it can be toxic atmosphere, it can be heat or cold or storms. And whenever one of those is present, you have a second meter on your life support that is always constantly draining. And you either have to get out of the cold or get out of the radiation and let it charge back up. Um,
And by get out of the cold, does that mean go back to your ship or find buildings or what?
it can mean find buildings. It can mean dig a hole in the ground and sit in it. Uh, that's literally what I did on one planet. I just blew a hole in the ground and jumped down, and it was like temperature stabilizing. And I was like, sweet, I'm just going to stand here for like 20 seconds till it's fully charged, and then I'll run back out. So I would say I think I was extra lucky on my starting planet because everybody starts on
really?
a different planet. Yeah, and my starting planet was amazing. It was like these huge toadstool, like big mushroom things. They're pretty common throughout the game, but there was also giant pillars of gold, and like when you mined it, it said gold. So this is supposed to be like pure gold pillars on this planet, which I guess are pretty common actually, but it blew my mind at first. And there was these like
Yeah, buddy of mine, he
large.
started on a desert planet and he was super pissed because he
Oh no,
hates
my
deserts.
first planet was so cool. There was these like intricate caves already, like you could just go into the ground, and I walked for like 10 straight minutes in these underground cave systems. And there were these little crab things that would attack me in the caves. And there were these like raptors with the head of a rat walking around. I named it Ratata.
How's the shooting mechanic in this game?
It's terrible. It's awful.
Oh, is it?
It's like it's worse than, people are going to hate me for this, but it's worse than Fallout 4. And I hated shooting in Fallout 4. The
That's unfortunate.
flying your ship is confusing and disorienting. That one I think is okay because it's more like flying a real spaceship where you get disoriented super fast because there's no up or down in space.
Okay.
I think that's cool. It has this weird, like when you're flying your ship, it's like right stick still moves your vision and left stick moves your ship. So you get these wonky, like going different directions while you're flying. It takes some getting used to. Shooting in your ship is tied to X, which is just ridiculous because aiming is right stick. So your right thumb is like, shoot, oh no, wait, they're out of my vision, move to stick, aim, oh shoot. That's just awful, terrible decision. Like I said, it's way more about its fantasy than its gameplay, and that's its biggest downfall. But that's what I was expecting, and I still love that this game exists, and I'm so happy I have it. And I told my dad I'm either coming up there or he's coming to my house this Saturday, and I'm making him play it with me because my dad has always loved space.
Okay, well, whoosh.
Yes.
You cut out for like a minute.
I know.
Did you not?
I noticed. I noticed you left.
Yeah. And F my internet, so I don't know what it was.
What's the last thing you heard?
Shooting in space, you get these wonky camera angles.
Yeah. And shooting in your ship is tied to X, but aiming is still tied to right stick. So it's the same button.
Same thumb.
Yeah, it's the same thumb.
It's a big no-no in shooters.
Yeah, I just can't believe how ridiculously dumb that is.
Can you not remap it?
I haven't really looked because I haven't had to really shoot in space.
Oh, okay. Do you think this game, like, I don't actually know, does it escalate into space exploration and that'll become a key part later, or is it always going to be planetary exploration? Because, like, you go from planet to planet, but is that it, or is there something in space that you do, like you get better ships and you dogfight people or something?
You definitely get better and better ships. You definitely, as you get better ships and you're holding better cargo, you're more likely to be attacked by space pirates, and you'll have to fight them more often.
Okay.
There's a storyline-ish to it where, because you start the game, you've crashed on this planet. It doesn't really explain where you've come from or where you were trying to go, but you've crashed on a planet, and this red orb appears, and it says, "I am the Atlas, follow me." And you're given two options, and it's like, believe the Atlas or refuse the Atlas. And there's kind of these choices along the way of, like, the Atlas makes its presence known to you and is like, it is your destiny to travel to the center or whatever.
Did you believe the Atlas?
Yes, I've believed the Atlas so far, mostly because it seems like that's the quickest way to get to the center. And I just want to get to the center to see it and then keep it.
Did you have it spoiled for yourself? I don't even know what's at the center. Oh, okay.
I have not had it spoiled. I've actually, most games I research the crap out of before I play. This one I have avoided the internet mostly the last couple weeks. As much because I understand the criticisms, but I don't want to hear them a million times, as I also don't want things spoiled for me.
Now, you were saying something about your dad.
Oh yeah, I told my dad that this game. I've been telling my dad about this game as long as I've been telling anybody about this game, and he,
before you were born.
Yeah, he loves model rockets. He loves space. He loves, moon flights and, NASA, all of that. And so I told him this Saturday, one way or another, he's going to sit with me for an hour, and I'm going to let him kind of tell me where he wants to go and what he wants to do. I really hope that he just loves it, because he's always loved space. And this is really the best game out there to live that fantasy of a 70s classic sci-fi novel of I'm a lone man in the universe and I'm seeing strange things and I'm just trying to get by and, you know, get back home. It's very Star Trek. It's very Dune almost, where, and it, like I said, it has more, it's closer to a text adventure than a modern space simulator, because you find these buildings with a single alien in them and you go in and it just like has this little text narration on the screen of like, I saw a strange beaked creature that emitted a foul smelling gas. It made animated gestures at me and kept pointing at something.
There's no
and
NPCs.
Then it gives you like 3 options. There are NPCs.
Oh.
There's aliens that you meet and talk to, but they don't like talk. It's text on the screen. And when they do talk, it's in their garbled language. And you only know certain words that you've learned from knowledge stones of their language. So it becomes this little puzzle where it's like, friend, oxide. And you have to, and it gives you like 3 options of what to do, and one of them is like give oxide, and you're like, oh, I know they said friend and oxide, I'm gonna pick that one. And then it's like, the alien seemed very pleased and taught me more of its language and gave me technology. And so you get like a new tech crafting recipe, and you learn a new word for the next time you encounter.
So obviously, yeah, I wasn't sure. I guess the question I have is, what's the ratio of hostile aliens to friendly aliens?
So I have not encountered any hostile aliens yet. I've encountered 3 different species. What?
Well, I just assumed there's going to be a lot more hostile aliens.
Well, there's hostile creatures, but they're not like sentient aliens.
Oh, okay.
And there's the really annoying sentinels on planets that if you ruin too much of the planet, they like turn on you and start shooting you. And sometimes they're really annoying. Like there was one time, it was like, you need to get into this manufacturing facility to get the recipe for antimatter so you can make your hyperdrive. And so I had to shoot the door down, was the only way to get in. And every time I shot off like 3 shots, there was like 5 sentinels immediately on me. So I kept having to like shoot the door 3 times, run away far enough that the sentinels would leave me alone, run back, shoot it 3 times, run away. Because I didn't have anything strong enough to take down the sentinels, especially because
you upgrade your gun?
Grand Theft. Yeah, you can. But
okay.
It's pretty early in the game. I just haven't yet. And there's this whole Grand Theft Auto like wanted system where if you anger the sentinels, you get like 1 red diamond. If you really anger them, it goes up to 2, 3, 4, all the way to 5. And by the time you're at 5, they're bringing in their like heavy duty machines to take you down.
Very Grand Theft Auto like.
Yeah. And early in the game, it's just ridiculous because it's like I have my bolt caster and my mining laser, and my bolt caster can take them down with like 1.5 full clips, but there's 5 of them. But I've encountered 3 different like sentient alien races, and like that I'm learning their language and trying to talk to them. What'd you say?
Paul, what have you named them? What have you named them?
You can't name the sentient ones.
What's the point?
I've met the Gek, I've met the Korvac, and I've met Viking peoples.
Okay. Have you found Paltopia and Pobblesville and?
No, I haven't taken the time to really name much. I just want to explore. I don't want to think up a name because okay, every planet, every star system, every animal, every plant, and sometimes even certain rocks count as like discoveries. And I just don't want to name freaking all of them.
Well, pretty soon it'll just be AA, AAA, AAAAA,
Well,
AAAAA.
they have procedurally generated names, so I just leave them at that.
Oh, of course they would, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
I wonder how big of a like how much space do you think this game takes up? Like how many terabytes of just random miscellaneous user information have they generated because of their 15 quintillion planets that who
Well,
knows if they'll ever be discovered?
they said within 24 hours, 10 million species had been discovered and recorded. So
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm sure it just records like the recipe for that species in the formula of the game, not like the
Yeah,
asset.
so today at work, my coworker, he was explaining to another coworker who doesn't know too much about games about No Man's Sky. He's like, "Well, it's like the biggest game ever created." I'm like, "Hold the phone, Turbo." Like they claim, 15 quintil. It's all procedurally generated. I mean, don't give them more credit than they deserve. It's a big game, but come on. It's not like The Witcher,
Well,
or I use that as an example because I'm like, they did a lot of work to procedurally generate this so it's unique and special for everyone, but they didn't create like 15 quintillion assets. Like, don't
no,
be thinking.
no, but it is. I'm pretty sure it is the game with the most explorable area. Although
Probably.
Maybe Minecraft though, if you just count that it's basically infinite.
Can
I don't know.
you can you circumnavigate the entire every planet you go on? Like, if you walk in a straight line, will you eventually crash into your ship again?
Yes, theoretically, but it would honestly probably take days because the planets are
You think?
huge. Oh, the planets are huge.
Wow.
Like,
Well, I mean, wouldn't they just pull like some video game magic and after 10 minutes, like you wrapped around, like you did it?
no, that's not the point of this game.
Oh.
It's like I explored my opening planet for almost 2 hours and I maybe saw 1% of it. Like, I'm not joking. They're huge. They're planet sized.
Wow. What kind of achievements are in this game? Is it platinumable?
It is platinable. I don't know what the trophies are. Um, there's a lot of in-game achievements that some of them pop into trophies, but the in-game achievements are like you've walked 20,000 units, you've met 8 different aliens, you've earned 10,000 units. Pretty basic achievements of just like you've made the numbers bigger.
Okay. uh, um, okay. Elephant in the room here. So, what's his butt? Sean Murray, right? That's his butt.
Yeah.
I can't remember. He has stated that yes, with the upgraded hardware of the PS Neo, like it's going to change this game because you can have more trees and leaves, right? So, do you think this PS Neo? Oh, yeah. He's mentioning that with the more powerful hardware, it's going to change the game. Like,
Sure.
we're already seeing how the PS Neo is going to fracture, kind of like you'll get the best experience. Like, and this is the first time I feel that people have mentioned it happening is like with No Man's Sky.
Yeah, I mean, I bet your PC experience is also going to be better than PS4. PS4 actually has pretty bad pop-in, pretty bad. Sometimes it'll like re-resolve the image in front of you, like it'll like basically redraw the image, and you can totally see it happening. Yeah, so I bet a more powerful machine would definitely smooth out the experience. I don't know if it would like give you more detail as much as just like increase draw distance, decrease draw speed. I don't know.
It was an interesting comment about this game in particular, just because it's, to me, yep, we're going to start fracturing user base already.
Yeah, I don't, but like functionally it'll be the same. It'll just be prettier, right? Like there's not other features to the game.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So, would you recommend this game to other people, Paul?
I would recommend this game to certain people. Like,
okay.
I think you're spot on and always have been of your opinion of the game. I think you would hate it. I think you'd be like, Paul, this is pointless. And to a great extent, it is. But there's just so much like optimism and joy to it of like, you literally start with nothing and you survive off the land in an entire galaxy and you see weird things. And that's all it does. That's all this game is. Again and again and again and again. And
I mean, I did attempt to play Journey.
Oh, you did finally. Okay.
I just like to see, is that game for me? I played about it in, I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes, and I'm like, maybe I'll get around to this later.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
it was okay. I'm not done with it yet, so I can't recommend what.
I would recommend No Man's Sky to people who like Journey. That's actually a really good cross section. And
that's what I kind of assumed.
The other elephant in the room. Two people have already found each other and they couldn't see each other, and it has been nuts.
So how do they know they found each other?
They were in the same spot with the same name in like the same sector of the galaxy. They were in the exact same spot. One guy was streaming and the other guy went to like knew he was in the exact same spot. He saw.
Oh, so they intentionally tried to find each other.
Yeah, and they couldn't see each other. They like logged in and logged out, tried to like reset their login to the server. No matter what they tried, they couldn't see each other. And that was supposed to be like a big moment in this game when you saw another player. And it wasn't working. And stupid Sean Murray, like seriously, the guy is so dumb. He tweets, I can't believe people found each other on day one.
Blows my mind.
Amazing. Yeah, and it's like, just be a person and just say what's going on. And it's so ridiculous that all these accusations of like he was lying the whole time. They never built multiplayer. It's all lies, which I don't think that's the case. If it is, holy crap, he's an even bigger idiot than I thought. And it's really weird that they didn't say anything about it. Like he mentioned servers in his next tweet, but he never directly says our servers are down, so they weren't actually logged in, so they couldn't see each other. That would be a really easy thing to say, and everyone would believe it on launch day.
But nope.
He didn't say that. He was just like, wow, so cool. Everyone's like, wait, why can't they see each other? Oh, man, it was so awesome. Wait, but Sean Murray, I'm just blown away.
What are you talking about?
Gosh, why is he so dumb?
I hope someday that we're both at GDC and we're crossing the street and you're like, hey, look, it's Sean Murray. And then you can pull him aside and be like, brah.
Why don't they have a community manager whose job it is to run their Twitter?
To manage Sean Murray.
Yeah, I just don't. Remember when I looked at their website for jobs and they were like, we hate producers. We don't want someone to tell us what to do. We want people who do stuff.
Uh-huh.
Their PR nightmares are the result of not having producers or community managers. You don't
That
have
is
your
entirely
lead
possible.
developer also be your main spokesman. That's just stupid.
Well, I just
and,
hope. Do you think the sales were affected by all the leaks? Like, genuinely,
um,
have they reported anything about like, oh, we've already made a profit on this game? Blah 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 blah.
no, but he did say there was more of you on the servers the first day than we ever expected. But like, it's a really Sean Murray line, you know?
A lot of people say that about a lot of things, actually.
Yeah. Which, like, why
But
don't people have better analytics? Like, why is every game so surprised by how many people play it?
that's kind of my point. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it exceeded expectations that we set yesterday, so we could say this today. Right?
I guess Overwatch didn't say that, and Overwatch's servers were pretty good for the beginning, but
They did have a pretty slick beta.
yeah. Anyway,
But
so it's the multiplayer thing is really weird. I honestly never expected to see another player, so I don't care, even if it never existed. But it is really weird. It'll be interesting to see how it resolves. There's a lot of like, people who follow this game have followed every tiny bit of information for the last 3 years. And a lot of them are coming out now and being like, hey, this tiny detail from,
forever ago.
this tiny detail at 10 minutes and 7 seconds into this one GameSpot video from 2.5 years ago. I haven't seen that yet, and I've seen hundreds of planets, 0 out of 10. And it's like, obviously, video developing for 4+ years is going to change some stuff. Obviously, everything he said would be in there. Not in
Ubisoft falls into this trap all the time.
Yeah.
And hold on, Simone Biles, or whatever her name is on the balance beam right now. She's rocking it, as she should be.
Wow.
Oh, she almost fell.
While Sean Murray disappoints us, Simone Biles never does.
Never does.
Simone Biles made No Man's Sky.
I doubt it, because she's been in Rio. That being said, I wonder, I'm conflicted. Who do I want to win, Simone or Allie? Because, I mean, Allie was there 12 years ago, and she didn't win, or 12 years ago, 4 years ago, and she didn't win, and she probably should. Anyway, Olympics, brah. They're so great. I love them.
They are pretty great. And, yeah, that's all I really have to say. They're pretty great, yeah. And I have spent more time watching Olympics than pretty much anything else in the last week.
That's all I've been doing all week.
It'll be a week tomorrow.
Yeah, which Utah has the highest ratings for the Olympics. Like, we're the number one state that watches them, so crushing it.
We're doing our part.
Oh, here's the dismount. Bam. Oh, she hopped a little. It's okay. She had a couple stumbles. Yeah, I know.
Don't do this to us, Simone.
Don't fail us, Simone. What about Allie? I don't know. Allie's pretty great. Also, our men's team, what a disappointment. What a disappointment. They super sucked. Remember the Ham twins? They were cool.
I do remember the Ham twins. I didn't until you said that, but yeah.
But now you do. And I remember listening to them like on a post, like, or interview type of thing or whatever. They sound funny. I don't think they're fully developed. At least back then, in like 2004 or whatever.
Well, gymnasts probably have growth problems because they're pounding on their bones every day, all day.
It's entirely possible. Oh, they're redoing the dismount. Oh my gosh.
I don't know how that would affect their voice, but
yeah. Well, Paul, this has been an excellent week for No Man's Sky.
Yeah, so my conclusion on No Man's Sky is it's very compelling. I love playing it. But no, it won't be Game of the Year. But it will have a very special spot in gaming history for a lot of people. So basically, in my real conclusion, it is Spore 2.
Did you get my text, Paul? You never replied.
I did get the text, but it's pretty much the exact same story as Spore.
Is it?
It is as advertised, but it's nothing more. And a lot of people are really disappointed. But those who aren't,
do you see yourself playing this game for months, weeks, a year, days?
I will do whatever it takes to get to the center of the galaxy. After that, I'm not sure.
Okay, that's fair. My
But-
goal for September is to finish Metal Gear 5. Like that's
Oh, nice.
that's
Okay.
my month of September, so you can get to the center of the universe in that time.
Yeah. And I won't, like trade it into GameStop. I'll probably keep it for a really long time because I know every now and then I'll get that itch to go back and just see something new,
Do you think they'll patch in any PSVR at all? Because that would be pretty slick.
Yeah. I think they'll try. We may or may not hear about it if it doesn't work. But we'll see. They may have already tried and failed and given up. But yeah.
That's
So,
possible.
in
Hadn't thought of
future-
that.
Yeah. In future weeks, you'll hear more about No Man's Sky, I'm sure.
I'll bring it up.
When is Gamescom? Isn't it super soon?
Like next week.
I swear I've looked up this date every episode of this show.
I think you have.
August 17th. Yeah, it's next week. So,
I don't expect anything. I just want September to be here so we can hear more about the PS Neo and the Nintendo NX. Because
that's a big deal.
all comes down to form factor.
I do think Rockstar will say something at Gamescom.
Why? Oh,
I think
like a Red Dead 2 or something silly?
Yeah, I think Gamescom is where they'll do that because no one else is there. There's no other major players. There's no one in their way.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go watch the
Play some No
Olympics
Man's
and play more No Man's Sky.
Okay.
You go watch the Olympics, and we'll continue.
Play
this
Donkey
discussion
Kong
later.
Tropical Freeze.
Classic.
Classic. All right. Good week, Paul Bills.
Okay. Yeah.
See ya.
Never die.